rust. Junpei stared at it for a moment. Had someone opened a safe, dislodging the rust? What the hell? Junpei left the closet. Seven followed him back into the bedroom. It was cold and quiet. No one spoke. They sat, frozen in place by shock and grief and fatigue. The room felt tiny and oppressive, and a thick metallic smell of blood filled the room. Junpei turned and headed for the living room. Anything to get out of there. Was there some other clue, perhaps? Anything that might lead him to whoever stabbed Clover? He took his time and examined the room carefully. These things, they always mentioned them, but they were never used in the puzzle. His eyes caught on the door. The door that led to the passageway of door number 5. Behind that door was the dead body of the 9th man. Maybe I should have another look at it just in case. Quietly, he pushed open the door. The smell hit him like a blow to the face. His lungs contracted, unwilling to inhale such fetid air. Acid boiled up from the base of his stomach, churning what little food was there and into a violent froth. It was too much for him, and he vomited. A thin stream of yellow water and bile spattered onto the floor. He wiped his mouth weakly and stared at the dead body. Chunks of torn flesh lay in the arc around the body. What remained of its intestines had slid onto the floor. The pool of blood that framed it was half dry, but so thick that it had taken on a texture not unlike that of an egg yolk prepared sunny side up. His bracelet's gone! On the floor next to the broken mass of the man's head lay his glasses, cracks spidering across the lenses. The bloodstains near them had already dried, like scabs on the floor. That was when he noticed. It's gone. His bracelet. It's gone. It had been there when Junpei had gone through door 5 before. He was sure of it. Right next to the glasses. But now, it was gone. The number 9 bracelet was gone. But why? Had someone taken it? He was turning it over and over in his mind when he heard Seven's voice. Huh? Where'd Junpei go? Oh shit! Oh, it drifted out of him from the living room. Oh, phew, okay. Junpei walked slowly out the hallway. Oh, there you are. Were you looking for something in the hallway? Seven looked up as Junpei entered the room. Did you find something? He thought for a moment before he responded. No. Nothing. Technically, it wasn't a lie. He hadn't found anything. In a way, in fact, that was the problem. Something he expected to find hadn't been there. The 9th man's bracelet. What's up? Well, I wanted to take a look at something. What is it? Seven led Junpei back to the bathroom. As Clover's corpse came into view, he felt his heart flip and fall into the bottom of his stomach. Something between a sigh and a groan escaped his lips. What was it you wanted to show me? His voice was hollow and empty. I searched Clover's body again. I found this. As he spoke, he moved around Clover's head, then knelt down and flipped open her right hand. A note? What? She was holding a piece of paper. I haven't actually looked at it yet. Didn't want to disturb the crime scene, you know? Basic stuff. Well, I did borrow one thing. He wasn't sure what that meant. But it likely didn't matter. Junpei, you have got to stop this, man. You are so shit when it comes to missing the obvious stuff. The paper was more important. Everything's important right now, man. He picked it up and carefully opened it. There were 2 sentences written on it. Truth had gone. Truth had gone. And truth had gone. Ah, now truth is asleep in the darkness of the sinister hand. gone and Truth had gone. And now Truth is asleep in the darkness of the sinister hand. No logical thinking is making me come up with anything right now. I'm not too sure what that means. Other than the Truth had gone? Does that mean to defy what we originally thought as being fact? And now it sleeps in the darkness of the sinister hand. It's too cryptic to make sense of just yet. What is this? Some kind of secret code? Seven peered over Junpei's shoulder at the note. Junpei stepped away from Clover's body and into the living room. He began to pace, attempting to decode the note. The first clue was likely the phrase "sinister hand." Sinister hand means that's tough. We found this note in Clover's right hand, which would lead me to go, okay, right hand then. However, it was Snake's left hand that was a lie. The one that was replaced. This corpse, this stand-in body. As we saw the bone of his left arm, which was a prosthetic, ruptured. So I'm gonna go with the left hand, as the Truth is gone. Since there was a term used in, what? Heraldry, that meant to the left of the bearer of a coat of arms. That's not what I come up with, but fuck it, Junpei. If that's what works for you, man, let's go for that. The left hand. The left hand. What did the left hand mean? Junpei looked at his own left arm. At the bracelet on his wrist. Did the darkness of the sinister hand have something to do with the bracelet? He examined the bracelet closely. There were two protrusions on either side of the face. The left and right sides of the face. Left and right. Left and right. Right and left. Truth is gone. Truth. Gone. It sounded funny. What did it mean? Truth. Gone? Maybe those two words. How about reading them out loud? Wait, you mean truth gone, truth gone, truth gone, truth? Or had, and had. And now truth is asleep in the darkness of the sinister hand. I'm not too sure how reading it out loud is going to help this. How about reading them backwards? I don't... I'm not coming up with anything here. How about switching them? Truth and gone. Maybe those two words. Something had gone, and something had gone. Or something had something, something had something, and something had something. That's... I don't know. What else could they mean? That's the only thing that kind of makes sense to me, because reading them backwards? I'm not really sure how that's gonna... What else could gone and truth mean? Truth, of course, meant something that was correct, something that was fact. In other words, something that was right. It would follow then that gone meant left. After all, after someone left, they were gone. In this case, however, they clearly referred to their directional homonyms. So that means truth equals right, gone equals left. That seemed to make sense. Oh! Junpei looked at the bracelet again. At the two protrusions on the left and right side of the face. pressed them in the following order. Truth had gone, truth had gone, and truth had gone. So, right, left, right, left, right, left. And then, huh? 1, 4, 3, 3, 8, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. One after another, 8 numbers flashed on and off of the face of Junpei's bracelet. Is this the code for the safe? He checked one more time to be sure. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, and 1. Huh? Hey, what do those mean? Junpei didn't answer. He couldn't answer. He had no idea what they were either! Junpei! Besides, he was sure he would forget the numbers and the order they came in if he said anything. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. I have a feeling I should write this down. You know what? I'm just gonna punch it in my phone. Because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna forget that too. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. You're probably going to hear my phone go off because I only ever turn it on to set my alarm, so messages and stuff might come. Like, oh, you didn't top up your phone today. Yeah, I don't have a contract, man. Can't afford it. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. Gotcha. Muttering the numbers to himself over and over, Junpei headed toward the bathroom. Bedroom? Same thing sometimes. Before long, he found himself in front of the safe again. Its lock was the only device he could think of that required a sequence of numbers such as the ones he'd just discovered. Besides, someone had opened the safe at least once already. Had Clover come to the bedroom to open it? Junpei slowly dialed in the numbers. Oh, for fuck's sake! 1 to the right. 4 to the left. 3 to the right. 8 to the left. 3 to the right. 4 to the left. 2 to the right. And 1 to the left. Finished. Junpei heard the small telltale sound of a lock opening. He grabbed the handle, took a deep breath, and pulled it up. Oh man, I don't know what's gonna be on the other side of this. I have a feeling it's gonna be bad. A note? Inside was a piece of paper. It was roughly the same size as the one Clover had been holding. Junpei picked it up. This is what it said. Oh god, oh god. Fact number 1. Oh, I got shivers. The nonary game was played once before. 9 years ago. Fact number 2. The person with the number 2 bracelet attended the game 9 years ago. Snake was in this game before? That would make sense as to when Zero said some of you are familiar with this game already. It would make sense as to why he was so good at these kind of puzzles. Fact number 3. It was planned by the following 4 people. Cradle Pharmaceutical CEO, Gentru Gongao, Cradle Pharmaceutical Chief of Staff. Oh, okay, so this is the CEO, Gentru Hongao. Okay. Cradle Pharmaceutical R&D Supervisor. And majority shareholder in Cradle Pharmaceutical. So, that makes sense as to why it was an organization. And they were able to afford all of this shit. But why was Snake already in this? Pharmaceutical running tests? Human experiments? I must punish them. For the innocent lives they sacrificed. This is the only warning they will receive. That innocent souls might be saved. I now state the truth. 0. What? Junpei left the closet. There were 5 people waiting for him in the bedroom. Ace, Lotus, Santa, 7, and June. He looked at each one of them in turn and slowly placed his hands in his pockets of his vest. Sorry, but do you think you could all come with me? Come with you? I want all of you to go into the big hospital room. Why? There's something I want to be sure of. What do you want to be sure of? I want to know if the person I suspect is really the culprit. Wait, then you're saying... Yeah. I think I've got it figured out. I know who killed Snake and Clover. The atmosphere in the room changed. Grief was suddenly gone, replaced by a tension like a strap of leather stretched to its limit. 5 sets of eyes stared at Junpei. He pretended not to notice. Anyway, if you could all please move to the big hospital, I'll explain everything as soon as we get there. Then, almost as if on cue, the bell began to ring. They all heard it. It was the bell from the clock in the main staircase. The bell rang 5 times and ceased. We've got 1 hour! Oh Lord, it was 5 o'clock. They had only an hour left. We don't have a lot of time. Let's go. Slowly, one by one, they followed Junpei out of the bedroom. Actually, before we get started, I was hoping you could do something for me. Junpei stopped in front of door 3 and turned around. Ace, 7, and Lotus, could you please place your palms on the red? Huh? Why? If we need to get to the shower room, why don't we just... No, we're not going inside. Once you've authenticated, step away from the door. Why? Please, just do it. Or perhaps you don't want to know who killed Snake and Clover. Junpei's implication was clear, and 7 understood perfectly. Ugh, fine. What about you, Ace? Lotus? Very well. Sure. Quickly, they pressed their palms into the red. Once they had finished, they stepped away from the door, as Junpei had instructed. 3 asterisks shone from the red's display panel. Junpei approached it and held his bracelet over the scanner. He made quite sure he didn't place his palm on it, and instead only brought his bracelet near it. The 4th asterisk appeared, just as Junpei had expected. I knew it. It was possible to authenticate without placing one's palm on the red, meaning you only need the bracelet. So as long as the bracelet was brought near it. Junpei pulled the lever down. Okay, so... Wait, hold up. Why? Why would it be him? Door 3 opened like a hungry mouth. 9 long seconds passed. And I'm getting too into this. And the door shut. Oh, wait. Wait a second. Ah, okay. Junpei walked slowly back to the others, who were waiting for some distance from the door, talking to one another. Santa and June had joined them as well. It looked as though they hadn't found a chance to break into the conversation yet. As Junpei approached, they turned to look at him, curiosity playing on their faces. Those hungry moths, yeah man, I almost said moths. Before long, the other 3 did as well. Clearly, they were all expecting some answers. Thanks. I appreciate your cooperation. Clearly they hoped for something more forthcoming. He continued. By the way, Ace, would you mind if I asked you something? What is it? Do you know who I am? What? What kind of question? Just answer it, please. Who am I? You're Junpei. Of course. Who else would you be? Unfortunately, that's the wrong answer. Actually, I'm Santa. What? Ace's voice was full of surprise, but it also tinged with confusion and fear. Everyone else looked nearly as surprised. Santa looked especially shocked to discover he was actually someone else. If he spoke, however, the trap would be exposed. Junpei quickly continued. The clothes I'm wearing, I borrowed from Junpei. And the clothes we're wearing are mine. We had a little swap. That's ridiculous. Impossible. So you're saying I'm not Santa? Of course you aren't. Why? What makes you so sure I'm not Santa? If you were Santa, then door 3 wouldn't have opened for us just now. 1 plus 7 plus 8 plus 3 equals 19. 1 plus 9 would be 10. The additional root would be 1. But the 4 of us just opened door 3. You can't possibly be Santa. Your bracelet number isn't 3. It's 5. Right? Only then, when it was too late, did Ace realize his mistake. He set his jaw and glared at Junpei. You're exactly right. My bracelet number is 5. As he spoke, Junpei lifted his wrist up to show everyone the bright red 5 on his wrist. Sorry, Ace. I tricked you. Of course I'm not really Santa. I'm Junpei. Who could possibly think I was? It's obvious I'm not. To think I was... ridiculous. I guess you couldn't see just how obvious it was. I asked you before, didn't I? What makes you so sure I'm not Santa? And you answered, if you were Santa, then door 3 wouldn't have opened for us just now. Most people wouldn't say something like that. As a justification for why I'm not Santa, I mean. The first thing they would come to anyone else's mind would be the bracelet number. Wouldn't be the bracelet number, there'd only be one thing they'd say. One sentence. You don't have his face. Ace. You have that brain thing. Am I right? Junpei's voice was quiet and calm. He knew the truth, so did Ace. He could hear a sudden buzz of conversation from the others. What's that? He heard Lotus begin to explain it to him. Ace glanced at them, then turned back toward Junpei and sighed. Very well. I confess. I have the thing. I cannot differentiate human faces. Is that what this was about? You want to mock me for my disorder? No, not at all. I'm not making fun of you at all. In fact, I feel kind of bad for you. No, the reason I brought this up is that there's an excellent chance the person who killed Snake has that too. Ace's face tightened. His eyes narrowed. What do you mean? Junpei leaned casually against the iron piping of one of the beds. I'll just come right out with it. I think it was you, Ace. You killed him. Junpei was suddenly very aware of 5 pairs of eyes on him. He had their undivided attention now. The room had grown very, very quiet. Junpei took a deep breath. That's ridiculous. What possible evidence do you... I had 3 pieces of evidence. The first, think back to a few hours ago. You made us argue over the 3 doors here in the big hospital room. There was no way all 7 people could go through them. Lotus suggested that we sacrifice one of us. Lotus looked away awkwardly. Junpei glanced at her and continued. Then you, Ace, said, I'll stay here. Why would you say something like that? It's pretty simple, really. You didn't want us to see the dead body in the shower room. You see, if Ace stayed behind, there were only 2 doors the rest of us could go through. Door 7 and 8. There was no way we could go through door 3, the shower room. You knew that, didn't you, Ace? That's why you volunteered to stay behind. Come on now, I think that's a bit far. I can understand if you're jealous of my bravery, but please don't devalue my actions. I only wanted to save the rest of you. Surely you can understand my altruism. Altruism, huh? Junpei stared off into the darkness at something very interesting and lazily began to dig a persistent bit of wax out of his ear. You already knew, didn't you? You knew that whichever doors we took, eventually we'd end up back in the big hospital room. What on earth are you saying? Of course I didn't know that. How could I have? Really? Yes, yes. Bleeding was not something they'd heard from Ace before. Junpei pulled a piece of wax from his ear, glanced at it, and flicked it off into the darkness. Ah, well, that's cool. I've still got 2 more pieces of evidence that say you're the killer. The second is that, as I said earlier, you have that condition. Then you mean to imply that a person who can't distinguish human faces must be a bad person? Junpei, they call that prejudice. No. I'm not that stupid. Then why? Well, before I explain, I suppose there's something I should tell you. The corpse in the shower room is not Snake's. What? What? Ace's face went pale. The others looked confused as well. If the body wasn't Snake's... I didn't put it together right away, but there was something Clover told me. She said that Snake's left arm was a prosthetic. He lost his real arm in an accident. But the body we saw in the shower room, let's call him Guy X. Guy X's left arm was definitely flesh and blood. In other words, Guy X couldn't possibly have been Snake. Oh god. No, that's impossible. Ace had started muttering deliriously to himself, shaking his head back and forth. Junpei was long past caring. Let's say, hypothetically, that the killer didn't have this condition. If that were the case, he would immediately realize that Guy X wasn't Snake. Even if the clothes were the same as Snake's, their faces would be completely different. It would have been obvious they were different people, and yet they still killed him. Why? Why would they kill a stranger who'd only just shown up? On the other hand, if the killer did have that condition, it makes sense. They thought Guy X was Snake and killed him. Wait just a moment. Let's say you're right and I mistook Guy X for Snake. Even if I did, I would have had no motive to kill him. Why would I want to kill Snake? I can think of at least 2 motives. 1, Snake knew about your past. If he ever revealed what he knew, that would have been really bad for you. You really didn't want that to happen. So to make sure Snake's mouth stayed shut, you killed him. 2, Snake had a grudge against you. You knew that, or at least you could have easily assumed he did. Even without exposing your identity, he was a threat to you. You never knew when you might be attacked. You couldn't ever let your guard down. Every moment was a moment he might try something. You didn't want that kind of danger hanging over you, so you... Hey, hold on a minute. For the first time since the beginning of Junpei's explanation, someone besides Ace spoke. What's the past that Ace wouldn't want us to know? Why did Snake have a grudge against him? Look at this. He handed Santa a small piece of paper. Santa squinted at the paper and began to read. The nonary game was played once before, 9 years ago. The person with the number 2 bracelet attended the game 9 years ago. It was planned by the following 4 people. What? What is this? Slowly Santa looked up from the paper. His eyes met Junpei's. It's the message from Zero. It was in the safe in the first-class cabin, and suddenly... Give me a break. Ace's face was red and shaking, and his voice was full of fury tinged with desperation. That paper is a lie. Someone is trying to frame me. Me? You said me, right? Junpei's eyes narrowed and the trap began to close. Ace inhaled sharply, his eyes flicked off of Junpei to something, anything else. Wouldn't that mean you're admitting you're Hongao, the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceutical? Or am I mistaken? It was as though a switch had been flipped. The color drained from Ace's face, and as he realized what he'd done, his eyes went wide. Very well. I admit that much. I'm certainly the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceutical. So what if I am? I don't know anything about this nonary game that supposedly took place 9 years ago. Everything on that scrap of paper is bullshit. Someone is trying to set me up, you see? First of all, Ace stammered as he tried desperately to work himself to a more tenable position. Jumper, you're claiming I did all this by myself. Think that over, alright? How could I have killed Snake all by myself? No, not Snake. It was Guy X. I don't care who it was. You said the killer put this other man into door 3, right? Yeah, maybe. Then I couldn't have possibly done that alone. I couldn't have opened door 3 with only myself and Guy X. No, you could have. What? Ace's face was tight and his teeth were clenched. Junpei fixed him with a level stare. The trap was about to close. Actually, Ace, when you're unconscious, I took something from you. Remember when you were injected with that anesthetic and fell asleep in the big hospital room? Yeah, back then. I took this. Junpei put his hand into his pocket. No, you couldn't have. Ace's right hand moved. Junpei smiled. I got you, Ace. Your right hand there tells you all I need to know. You want to tell me what you're so worried about? What's in your pocket? It's the number 9 bracelet, isn't it? Ace, Guy X, and the Knife Man's bracelet? That was all you needed to open door 3. That's how you killed Guy X all by yourself, Ace. All you needed was the number 9 bracelet in your chest pocket. Ace lowered his hand from where it had stopped, halfway to his pocket. He looked down at the floor, his face hidden from Junpei. All he could see was the corner of Ace's mouth, twitching like a dying fish. If you want to play innocent, that's fine by me. Go ahead, tell me I don't have the bracelet, if that's what you want to do. But if you could take off your coat and hand it to me, I'd really appreciate it. Otherwise, we'll have to take it from you by force. Right, Seven? Yeah. It'd be my pleasure. Seven cracked his knuckles with a sound like gunfire. Ha 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 ha. Ya 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 ha 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 ha. Ace roared with laughter. He threw his arms wide and his head back and laughed, filling the room with a sound